Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, people? Thank you guys for tuning in and coming back. This is the Big B Daily Show. We are live on YouTube. What's going on, YouTube? We are live on TikTok. What is happening, TikTok? Thank you guys for coming in. We are live streaming Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Oh, man. Again, on TikTok, please keep tapping that screen. Keep hitting that screen. We need at least 3,500 likes and 30 new follows. So if you're not following and you're in here, please give me a follow. And then come on over, click the YouTube link in my bio. Come join the chat. Come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube, man. A lot of stuff over there. Interviews, podcasts, short videos, long videos. Hot Soup Fantasy Football's got his stuff attached. LTB Sports has a lot of sports content. So come on over. But, man, let's get into this. We're going to start off with my Steelers. The last 2 weeks have absolutely been horrific. Just horrific. And last night takes the cake. The Patriots haven't been able to score on anybody. I think the last 3 games combined, I think they scored like 21 points or something. They put 21 points up at the half against the Steelers. Now, we can talk about all the reasons on why, and I think we should. Somebody mentioned earlier on TikTok that the team is quitting on Mike Tomlin. You're 100% correct. The team has given up on Mike Tomlin. His message has grown stale. That's part of it. The team was not prepared. Again, for the second straight week, your team is not prepared. Unprepared, uninspired, and here's the thing. The players are starting to say that in interviews. They're starting to come out, man, we didn't prepare the same. The practice didn't look the same. All I'm saying, and I'm going to say it now, and I've said it for a while, it's time for Mike Tomlin to go. It's time for Mike Tomlin to go. It was an absolute nightmare. There's going to be some people that, well, Mike Tomlin's not the problem. That could be one of the worst statements I think I've ever heard. Mike Tomlin is the problem. And what I mean by that is Mike Tomlin hired the offensive coordinator that he wouldn't get rid of. Mike Tomlin did that. Mike Tomlin is responsible for not being prepared and uninspired. That's a head coach's job. Mike Tomlin has to understand that he's got young people in his locker room, and he can't just trust young people to be professional. He's got to have a message and make them be professional. That's what a leader of men does. If you've got a bunch of professionals that are just doing it and veterans, that's something different. The Steelers don't have that. Mike Tomlin, it's just time. Sometimes it's just time. And it's not that Mike Tomlin's a bad football coach. It's not that Mike Tomlin can't coach. It's just time for Mike Tomlin to leave Pittsburgh. It's just time. And look, the problems that exist on offense are Mike Tomlin's fault. That's his fault. Now, you can say, well, it was Matt Canada. Who hired Matt Canada? That was Mike Tomlin. Who allowed Matt Canada to coach the first 11 games of the football season? That was Mike Tomlin. So even when you got rid of Matt Canada, you can't get rid of his scheme. You know? And somebody in TikTok saying he doesn't have a decent quarterback. You don't think Mike Tomlin is in the room, has a say, responsible for who's drafting the quarterback, who's on his team? You guys are nuts talking about the coach doesn't play it down. If that's the case, then no coach should ever be fired. If those are the excuses that I'm seeing on TikTok, well, it's really from one person. The coach doesn't play it down. Then no coach should ever be fired. No coach that doesn't have a good quarterback, they should never be fired. Ever. Ever. Because that's what you're saying. You're giving me excuses. You ain't giving me solutions. And that's basically what it is. The bottom line is Mike Tomlin's just not getting it done anymore. That's okay to say. I mean, it's okay to say. And as a Steeler fan, as a lifelong Steeler fan, if you can get rid of Chuck Noll, you can get rid of Mike Tomlin. I'll say that. And Mike Tomlin hasn't accomplished near what Chuck Noll accomplished. And the Steelers made Chuck Noll retire. And if you can do that to him, you can do that to anybody. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let me get to some comments over here on YouTube. Good, it's pretty good. Mike Tomlins tries to defend his players, but he knows deep down he's holding him back. I mean, Mike Tomlin defends players to an extent. He does. But it's just like the whole thing with Deontay Johnson, that effort play against Cincinnati when he said, I'll give him an opportunity to defend himself. Hey, why? Yes, you can give him that opportunity, but Mike Tomlin, you saw what happened, man. You can say that's not the effort that we're looking for. You can say that. That was a piss poor effort by Deontay Johnson's fault. He's a better player than that. He knows better than that. I'm going to let him explain that to you guys. But from my perspective, he's got to be better. You can say that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And he wouldn't even do it. He wouldn't do it. So, it's that kind of stuff it's got to change. And again, if Mike Tomlin changed his philosophy, okay. And his philosophy, and I've said it on here many times, his philosophy is we're going to play great defense, which they're not doing right now, by the way. We're going to play good special teams, and we're going to make a play at the end to win games. You can't win like that in the NFL anymore. That's not sustainable. You ain't winning no football, no playoff football like that. You're not doing that. You can be 500. You can have a winning record. You can be 9-8. But you're not winning. You're not sustaining anything. That's not how the NFL is played today. They don't even let you play defense really anymore. So it's crazy. But let me get to some more of these comments. Tomlin's a great coach. I do think he needs a fresh start, but it's on the players. Stop blaming coaches. Again, a crazy comment. You don't blame coaches. You put it all on the players. Don't the coaches put in the game plans? Now, granted, players got to execute. Don't get me wrong. But if you're not blaming coaches, then no coach should ever be fired. A coach should have a lifetime contract. Once they sign up, they should have a lifetime contract until they retire if we never blame coaches. Because that's literally what this comment is saying. That's what this comment is saying. Don't blame coaches. Coaches can be blamed. Coaches can be blamed. I don't know why we're so afraid to blame Mike Tomlin for what's going on. This is a good comment by my man Golf Hawk. Tomlin has squandered his opportunity. We need a fresh start. And it's not just this season. We act like, oh, well, it's just been bad this year. The Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016. 2016, the Steelers haven't won a playoff game. Give me a break, man. What are we talking about? It's just crazy. And then, and I can be emotionally involved. Does that mean I'm lying? Nope. Just means I'm telling the truth. That a lot of Steeler fans have been screaming for years. I fought it. I was one of those people that just said, Tomlin's fine. He's a great coach. Is he? Is he anymore? And I think he is a great coach. Let me answer my own question. He is a great coach. His message has just grown stale with the Steelers. You know? I mean, all the things that Mike Tomlin does, he wants to be involved in everything. And he is involved in everything. Well, when you're a head coach and you're involved in all that, where does the blame start? Or where does it stop, I should say? I mean, it stops at him. He's responsible for the results. Mm, 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 mm. I don't know. It's just weird to me that people don't want to put the blame on him. I don't get that. The players deserve a ton of blame because they're not executing. The quarterback position is horrible, but that's partly Mike Tomlin's fault. Don't draft baby hands Pickett. You didn't have to draft him. Have a better plan when Ben retired. You should have made Ben retire the year before he actually did. You didn't do that because, hey, I can make this playoff game. We have no chance of winning in the playoffs, but hey, I got a winning record. We'll backdoor into the playoffs and then get slaughtered, which is exactly what happened. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Here's a good thing. Nobody has ever wanted to hire a coach that came through the Tomlin Steelers system. It's because Tomlin has his hand on everything. And that's not really true because, I mean, technically Todd Haley was in his system. So, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm spilling my guts and I'm frustrated. So, but I think I speak for a lot of Steeler fans. And here is a super chat. I appreciate that, my man. Pete Carroll equals Mike Tomlin. Same stupid philosophies. You're 1,000% correct. 1,000% correct. Pete Carroll's the same way. Although Pete Carroll tried to do it. He tried to backdoor the Seahawks this year with Geno another year. Tried to buy him some more time with Geno. That ain't working out either. But you are absolutely correct. It's wild. It's insane. So it's just, and not to mention, everybody talks about him not having a losing record. And, you know, and how do you ever get better by doing that? You know, going 8-8 or 9-8, picking between 17 and 22 every year. How do you get better? Like the Steelers were 9-8 last year. They didn't make the playoffs. And they had the 17th pick in the draft. That's not how you rebuild. Teams that rebuild that's not what they do. So, I don't know. That's just me. That's my rant. I apologize. Let's move on. So, Mike Tomlin is guaranteed a winning record. Who cares? Who cares, Dylan? That's a great point, and thank you for the super chat, my man. We appreciate it. But how does that make the Steelers any good? So what if the Steelers go 9-8 this year? What does that mean? What's that do? Doesn't help. It doesn't help. So it's just like the play calling last night. 3rd and 2 from your own 49 with 2 minutes to go. We can't run the ball and try to get closer? Nope. And then on 4th and 2, the next play with Mitchell Trubisky, we're going to try to throw a fade route down the left sideline, which Mitchell Trubisky doesn't even throw the ball left. That's number one. That was the play call. And Mike Tomlin even came out and said after the game, yeah, that was the call. We're trying to be aggressive. Oh, my God. Versus just getting 2 yards. And there were guys open, too, in the middle of the field. I'm done. Rant over. I apologize. Let's move on. Because I could talk about Mike Tomlin all day and how he needs to go. I could do it all day long, but y'all didn't come here for that. So I apologize. Let's move on, man, to some must-win games this weekend. The Cowboys and the Bills, I think those are 2 must-win games. I think the Bills have to beat the Chiefs. Have y'all seen the Chiefs, or not the Chiefs, but the Bills' remaining schedule? They got to win this game. They got to win this game. It gets tough. I mean, it's already tough starting with the Chiefs. But I think this is an elimination game for the Bills. They got to win. They got to win. And then the Cowboys, too. The Cowboys have to win this game. If they're trying to win the division, I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. But if they're trying to win the division and do some of the things that they're trying to do, Cowboys got to win this game. Not only for their credibility, but also to take control of the division. They got to win. I think those are 2 big games. And the Eagles are ripe for the picking. I think the Cowboys are going to win. They should win. You're on a roll. The Eagles are licking their chops after being smacked around by the 49ers. Dak is playing at an MVP level. CeeDee Lamb heard all that talk that he wasn't a top 10 receiver, and he said, hold my beer. So, now on the flip side, the Eagles got a lot to play for. The Eagles have a lot to play for. So, but this is a good point by my man, Captain Mars, man. I appreciate you joining the chat, bro. Bills, if they lose, they might have 0 chance of making the playoffs. I think so, too. But unfortunately, I think the Bills are going to lose. I think the Chiefs beat them. So I just think the Chiefs got to figure some stuff out. I think this is a get-right game for the Chiefs. I think this is a get-right game for the Chiefs. So that's just my personal opinion, man. And the Cowboys play great at home, so I think they're going to win, and I think it's a get-right game for the Chiefs. So we'll see. We will see. Looking for some stuff over on YouTube here. My man Dirty Sanchez talking about Mike Tomlin. Should they fire him without having a franchise quarterback? What difference does that make? He was in on the decision to take baby hands at number 20. That's his own doing. Nobody told you to make that draft pick. But again, I'm off base. Again, I could talk about Mike Tomlin all day. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. If Dallas wins, everyone will say the Eagles are tired, so it won't count. I mean, the Eagles played a week ago. I mean, that's the normal rest. I know they played 3 games in 13 days, but then they had normal rest, and now they're playing. So nobody wants to hear that. And you're right. Some people are going to make that excuse. You're not going to hear that from me. Figure it out. Figure it out. So, but we'll see. We'll see. No excuses. We got taken to the woodshed. No, yeah, the Eagles got taken to the woodshed by the 49ers. And I think the game against Dallas is going to be close. But I just think the Cowboys are going to win. I think they're better. I think they're a better football team right now than the Eagles. I just think they're better. Let's move on, people. Have you guys noticed? Now we're switching gears here and stay with me. LeBron James is playing phenomenal basketball right now. Now, I know there's a lot of LeBron haters out there. Oh, he whines, he flops, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But to try to deny how great LeBron is ignorant. Let's just call it what it is. It's ignorant. And LeBron is playing outstanding basketball right now. Not that anybody has noticed, including really myself, because I don't pay attention to basketball, the NBA basketball, until after Christmas. But this play-in tournament has kind of got me intrigued. I've paid attention. You know, I've been paying attention. And right now, LeBron, yes, my man, Captain Mars, LeBron has been playing at a crazy level. At a crazy level. So, yeah, man, I'm with it. I'm with it. And he's, about to be 39, 21 years in? And he's in better shape than 99% of the league. He doesn't have the same athleticism that he had 10 years ago. But he might be a better basketball player because he's smarter. It's nuts. It's nuts. He looks better than he did in the bubble. Yeah, he looks good. LeBron's playing good basketball right now, people. Jordan was better. He might be, but okay. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Jordan was better. Okay. Does that mean LeBron's not any good? And the people get so worked up if somebody was better. You could think Kobe was better. You could think Kareem was better. But all of those guys are all pretty good, aren't they? It's wild that people get so bent out of shape on who they think is better, and then they think that everybody else isn't any good and will literally say it. So it's weird. It's weird. But he's playing good basketball right now. He's playing good basketball right now. And Buckeye, I'm not even going to acknowledge you saying LeBron's not any good. So you don't get acknowledged ever again. So you might as well block me because I will never acknowledge you. You can't say, y'all know me. You can't say stupid stuff. We're all in here to have a good time and talk, but you're not going to say something ignorant. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, it's wild. Give the man his flowers. He's playing good basketball. And if you haven't noticed, the in-season tournament, those guys are playing hard. That's the one thing about what people don't like is the in-season tournament or early season basketball, I should say. A lot of people don't like that because they don't think the guys are playing hard. And for the most part, they're not. They're playing hard for this money. $500,000, they're playing hard. So it's interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. But let's move on, man. Let's move on to open mic session here. Let's pick some games. Let's pick some games. Now, we're not going to do the point spread. Y'all follow along and tell me who you guys think are going to win. I'll tell you who I think is going to win each game. Everybody follow along. And I'll get to the game. So you don't have to tell me what game next or anything like that. We're going to do every single game. So don't worry about it. I got you covered. First one, Bills versus the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a good football game. I think Josh Allen is going to play well. A lot of Josh Allen hate out there. They talk about his turnovers, but they don't talk about his touchdowns. Guy's got 19 more touchdowns than any other player right now. It's wild. So, what exactly is going on? So it's crazy. But I like the Bills. I like the Bills. Or I'm sorry, I like the Chiefs, not the Bills. I like the Chiefs. I apologize. I apologize. But look here, Angelo, don't be funny. Y'all can't see it on YouTube. But Angelo said Pats or Steelers. Don't be funny, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm already having a bad enough day. I'm screaming for my head coach to be fired. It's not good for me. This is not good for me. So, oh, mm-mm-mm. Let's go here. Next game, we got the Bucks and the Falcons. It's at Atlanta. The Bucks still aren't playing horrible, but they're not winning. I got Atlanta winning this football game. I got Atlanta. So I got Atlanta. If Atlanta wants to win the division, they better win the game. Lions versus Bears. There is a lot of people out there that are taking the Bears. There is a lot of people that are taking the Bears. People no longer trust Detroit's defense. I like Detroit, but I think I'm taking the Bears this week, man. I think I'm taking the Bears. I don't trust that. I'm one of those people that no longer trust Detroit's defense. It's starting to play like the first 8 games of last year. They're just constantly just giving up yards and points to everybody. Give me the Bears at home this week over Detroit. Then we got the Colts at the Bengals. Battle of backup quarterbacks. It's in Cincinnati. Give me Cincinnati. I don't think Jake Browning was a 1-week wonder. I think he can play a little bit. I think he can play a little bit. Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. Jaguars against the Browns. Now, that's a big one. It looks like Trevor Lawrence is going to play. So there's that. The Browns still don't know who they're going to take and who they're going to play. Is it going to be Flacco? Is it going to be DTR? I like the Jags in this one, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pick with my head over my heart. I want the Jags to win, but I think the Browns beat the Jags at home. I think the Browns beat the Jags at home. I do. Panthers versus Saints. If the Saints can't win this game, they're not going to win another game the rest of the year. So let's take the Saints. Jets versus Texans. I mean, are we trusting Zach Wilson? Are we going to trust that? Now, the weather is supposed to be bad in New York. So it'll be tough. But I still give the edge to the Texans. I think their culture, I think what DeMeco Ryans is doing there, I think, first of all, he's the coach. In my opinion, he's got to be the coach of the year. That's number one. But I think what he's doing with that team, and they're still not loaded with talent. They're not. They got some players, but they don't have this crazy roster. He's just a leader of men. So give me the Texans. Then we got the Rams versus the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to win this one. I think the Ravens are going to win this one. They got to win the game. The Rams are playing better, but it's on the road. I don't think the weather's going to be nice in Baltimore. Give me the Ravens. Vikings at the Raiders. I think this is where the rubber meets the road for Josh Dobbs. It kind of met it did last week. I think it's going to do it again. I think the Raiders and Antonio Pierce, the coolest coach in the NFL, Antonio Pierce, drives a 64 decked out Cutlass to the game, wearing diamond earrings. I love every bit of it. I think the man should get the head job. Excuse me, pause. I think the man should get the head coaching job, and he should be the head coach of the Raiders moving forward. Give me the Raiders. Seahawks against 49ers. And the Seahawks, I think, are finished. 49ers are going to blow them out. 49ers are going to blow them out. We got the Broncos at the Chargers. Tough game. Look, the Chargers gotta make a stand. The Chargers have to win out if they're gonna make the playoffs. They have to win out. Broncos were playing really good football. They didn't play horrible last week against the Texans, but they didn't play great. But I think I think that they're turning back it into a pumpkin this week. I think the Chargers win at home over the Denver Broncos. I think that happens. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Then the big one, Eagles taking on the Cowboys. I'm still going Cowboys. I like Dallas in this game. I think Dallas is just a better football team right now. Now the Eagles could come out and prove me wrong, but the Eagles have changed what they're doing. They're not running the football like they were before. They're not playing physical like they were before. That's the problem that I got with them. So that is the problem. So we'll see, man. We will see. But I got the Cowboys against the Eagles. I got the Cowboys winning that game. Then for some reason we have 2 games on Monday night. Why? I have no clue. The Titans against the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins may blow out the Titans. And then we have the Packers at the Giants. Danny DeVito is still the quarterback of the Giants. Or excuse me, Tommy DeVito. Give me the Packers. Give me the Packers. So that's the slate. That's a slate. Another big game, college football, Army, Navy. Who you got? I know it's not big time football. I understand. But it's Army, Navy, man. Who you got? I don't know anything about either one of the teams. I don't know anything. But I am going to watch it. I can assure you that I'm going to watch it. And I usually kind of flip flop back and forth. I'm going Navy this year. I'm going Navy. Again, I don't know anything about either one, but I want to watch anybody that's going to end up sacrificing themselves for the country, because that's literally what they're doing. As soon as they graduate, they're putting their life on the line for me. I can spend a Saturday watching their football game. I can at least do that. I can do that. Navy in blowout fashion. You must be a Navy guy, TJ. I love it. You must be a Navy guy. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Either a Navy guy or you were in the Marines. Same difference, I think. It's always interesting at family functions because I got an uncle that was a Navy guy and my cousin is in the Marines. And the old saying, oh, the Marines are the ones that fight. Well, the Navy is the one who gives you a ride. If I've heard that once, I've heard it a million times. A million times. So the Devin Haney fight, I mean, I admit I'm a casual boxing fan. I know Devin Haney. I know he's really good. So I'm not going to watch it. I assure you, I'm not going to watch it. But people are saying Devin Haney should win, so we'll say Devin Haney. I'm a casual boxing fan. I mean, y'all know me. I'm honest. I'm casual boxing, casual UFC. I know football. I know basketball. It's just better to be honest and tell you what I know. So I love it, TJ. Just Navy fan. There ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. There ain't nothing wrong with just being a Navy fan. So, let's get over to YouTube here. See some comments. Let's pick up one here. Going back and forth with somebody. My man Joe was talking to my man Wakan, who is also a subscriber. Totally agree with you. Daniel stats were acquired, majority of them against poor quality competition. So I don't care what the East Coast bias expects or experts say, just my opinion. I get it. I get it. I wouldn't say the majority of Daniel's stats were acquired because Ole Miss wasn't a bad team and he chopped them up. They just didn't have the ball at the end. And Alabama is in the playoff. And Daniels, until he got knocked out of the game, was literally going through Alabama's defense like a hot knife through butter. Like a hot knife through butter. So to say that he accumulated most of his stats against bad competition, that's not true. That's not true. So, and I like Jaden Daniels to win the Heisman Trophy, by the way. I like him to win the Heisman Trophy. So, will he do it? I don't know, but I think he should. I think it's between him and Penix. Him and Penix. Bo Nix can't be. I mean, Bo Nix can't win it over Penix. Penix beat him twice. So while Bo Nix had a great year, you can't win the Heisman over somebody who beat you twice in a season. That you can't. That can't happen, can it? No. No. Keegan, if the Cowboys lose, I'll be at the Star. I live from the Star. If the Cowboys lose, I will drive to the Star and we'll do a quick live from the Star. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. Let the Cowboys lose on Sunday night. Big B will be at the Star live, having some fun with Cowboys fans. We'll speak to some people. We'll try to get some people on live. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to get some people on live. We will be doing a TikTok live from the Star if the Cowboys lose. Now, if they win, we're not doing that. We're not going to give them no praise. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I think the Cowboys will win. But wouldn't it be fun if they lose so I can go out there and tease them? I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great. So let's see. What else we got over here? Florida State got robbed. Yeah, we know. But y'all know my feelings on Florida State getting in. I just don't feel bad, man. They've done it to other college teams in the past. I don't feel bad for Florida State. They've gotten in twice when they didn't deserve it, and nobody felt bad for some of those other teams. I'm bitter because I was one of those teams in 1998. They put Florida State in ahead of us, and we were better than they were. We lost the game. So did they. Our loss was a million times better than theirs, and it didn't matter. They were the bigger brand. That's who they put in. So my man Funky says, "See you at the Star on Sunday." I love it. I love it. So, what are my thoughts on the rumor Coach Tomlin is going to be fired? We covered that at the beginning of the show, brother. I appreciate you coming in. I could talk about that all day. I think it's time for Tomlin to get another job. Because don't get me wrong, if Mike Tomlin wants to coach somewhere else, he will get a job before he gets out of the door at Pittsburgh. Before he gets out of that facility, he'll have another job. I just don't think the job should be in Pittsburgh anymore. And yes, the Steelers will probably struggle for a few years once he leaves. But if we're building something, I can get behind that. We're not building anything with Tomlin right now. So that's my only point with that. That's my only point with that. Keegan, let's not be funny. Who's a better coach, Mike Tomlin or Miami Hurricanes coach? Let's not be weird. Let's not be weird, bro. I know you're a Browns fan and you're kicking me in the teeth today, and you should kick me directly in the teeth. I mean, because I can give it as much as I can take it. So you should kick me right in the teeth, but let's not be crazy. Captain Mars, anything about the Jets? Did you miss it? We picked the game, but we didn't pick the Jets. We picked the Texans. We picked the Texans. Is Aaron Rodgers going to play this year? No. No, he's not. Why would he? I mean, the Jets aren't doing nothing. Their offensive line is still horrendous. So, no, he ain't playing this year. And he shouldn't. Dirty Sanchez says, will Tyreek notch another 150-yard game? I'm torn about that. I'm torn. I got Tyreek on my fantasy league team. Maybe he should save it till next week. Playoffs start next week. Maybe Tyreek, and I've already won. I've already won my division. So maybe Tyreek should just wait till next week to start going off again. We'll see. We'll see. But more than likely, he's going to dominate that football game again. Again. So I don't know what. Yeah, never mind. If Tyreek gets to 2,000 yards, does he deserve the MVP? I think he's the front runner right now. That's who I'm rooting for to win the MVP is Tyreek right now. So, just as a reminder, people, if you are in the live over on TikTok, please give me a follow if you're not already. I appreciate it. We're Monday through Friday. We do live streaming on YouTube and TikTok. And if you're on YouTube and you are not subscribed, please subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. Please subscribe. We appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think Tyreek should win the MVP this year. Tyreek should win. But it's going to be a close race. You got Brock Purdy. You got Dak Prescott. Not enough people are talking about Tua. Tua's got to be in that conversation too. Why he's not, I have no clue. But he should be. Emmanuel Khan says that the Chiefs will win as long as their receivers bring their hands to the game. You're right. You're right. I think this is a big get back game for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have just kind of been playing a little bit closer to the vest. I think they bring out, the A script as far as play calling this week against the Bills. They may smack the Bills around a little bit. They may smack the Bills around a little bit. We'll see. We will see. My man, Feed Me More Seahawks says that Bo Nix is overrated and can't elevate an offense. You have to build an offense around him. Well, you're a Seahawks fan, which I'm assuming makes you a Washington Huskies fan, which is fair. But don't most people get an offense built around them? I mean, everybody isn't Joe Montana. You know, it's okay if they build an offense around you. It's okay. I think you've been listening to too many talking heads up in that area that don't like Bo Nix saying that he can't elevate an offense. Take Bo Nix out of the offense at Oregon, and they are not very good. The kid played phenomenal this year. He played phenomenal. Mm-mm-mm. So we'll see, man. Joe had Jerry Rice. Not at the beginning. He won a Super Bowl without Jerry Rice. You know that, right? So it's hard to build around somebody that wasn't there. And he was very successful. Like I said, won a Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl without Jerry Rice. Went to Kansas City, and until he got his head bounced off the turf in Buffalo, the Chiefs may have beaten Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. Can you even name a receiver on that Chiefs team? Just one. Not two or three, just one. So Alabama might win it all. Yeah, I think Alabama may win it all. And matter of fact, that's who the betting favorite. I believe Alabama is going to win it all. So we'll see. What's up, Travis? K State at LSU in college hoop. We got K State. K State's going to end up being fine. It hurts to not have Tomlin, but they've played all these games without Tomlin. I think they're going to end up being fine. Are they going to be as good? No, they're not going to be as good, but I think they can manage. I think K State can manage. So they got a good enough coach. I think they can manage. My man, Captain Mars, if the Browns win, are the Jags in trouble? Like, for example, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play that game and the Jags lose, then is it like panic time for the Jags? Well, why would you panic if their quarterback doesn't play? They're not going to panic. It'd be more of a panic if he does play and they get beat. But you wouldn't panic if you got your backup in there and you lose. You're not going to panic. At least I wouldn't. I wouldn't. So, but that's just me. That's just me. Kentucky at Louisville, December the 21st. Yeah. I don't think it's December 21st, is it? Maybe it is. It's gonna be ugly, my man. It's gonna be ugly. Louisville stinks. Kenny Payne, terrible. But whatever. We're gonna shut this one down for today, people. I appreciate everybody in here. Had a great week. Had a great week. Fun today, as always. Again, man, if you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Big B Sports Talk, man. Super chats are open every day. Whatever you choose to do and support the channel, we appreciate that. Your question will always get picked up first and immediate as soon as it gets sent over. So thank you for anybody who sends over any super chat. Two, on TikTok, if you're not following and you're in here, please give me a follow. We appreciate it. We hit our goal today as far as likes, not as follows, but that's okay. We'll come back and we'll do it again next week, man. So we appreciate everybody that was in here today and everybody that was in here all week. We'll be back on Monday. And aloha.